Just imagine you are driving one day and you find yourself being pulled over by law enforcement. What do you do? I'm going to share some information with you that may keep you from being arrested. First and foremost, I am not a licensed attorney, and this is not legal advice. The information being shared is for educational purposes only. First, let me cover what you should do, and then I will explain the why. Stay calm and follow the instructions below. 1. Make sure all windows are up and your doors are locked. 2. Pull over to the right in a safe manner. Bring the car to a stop and place the car in park. Do not turn the car off. Do not reach for your license. Do not reach for any documents you anticipate the officer will request. Simply place both hands on the steering wheel and wait until the officer approaches. There are two types of stops that I need to share with you. One is a normal traffic stop, and the other is a pretextual traffic stop. A normal traffic stop is where the officer pulls you over and attempts to get you to confess to violating the traffic code. The officer may ask, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" In which you reply, "No, officer, I do not, since I do not violate traffic laws." Or the officer may try another Jedi mind trick and ask, "Is there a reason you did not come to a complete stop at the stop sign?" In which you reply, "Officer, with all due respect, I do not violate traffic laws." For a normal traffic stop, roll the driver's side window down 3 inches. You want just enough space so you can hear the officer and he can hear you. If the officer asks you to roll the window all the way down, politely respond, "Officer, with all due respect, I prefer to keep my window where it currently is for my own protection." If the officer asks again for you to roll down your window, repeat the phrase, "Officer, with all due respect, I prefer to keep my window where it currently is for my own protection." When the officer asks for your license and other documents, do not hand them over. Place your license and other documents against the window and show, present, and/or display to the officer. If the officer insists that you hand over your documents, politely inform them that they are yours and that you have a right and a duty to secure them. Wait a few seconds and then say, "I believe the law says I must show, present, or display my documents upon your request." Do not say, "I know my rights under any circumstances." At the end of every sentence you speak, say the following, "Am I free to go?" Keep asking until the officer says no, or you are detained. Once the officer returns with your ticket or warning, allow the officer to cop-splain. During this time, the officer is trained to plant seeds of doubt by telling you what you did wrong, your court day, your options, and how to easily pay the ticket. If you feel you did nothing wrong, go to court and contest the ticket. Be sure to submit a FOIA request to get the car cam video and the officer body cam video. If there is no video evidence, then it is your word against the officer. When you go to court, tell your side of what happened and ask the court to judge the testimony with favorable eyes for the citizen. Now that brings us to the pretextual stop. This one is more complicated. The same rules apply. Roll up all your windows and lock your doors. Lower your driver's side window by 3 inches, just enough space to be heard and hear the officer. The same rule applies if the officer tries to pressure you into lowering your window, or the officer asks why in an attempt to make you feel unreasonable. The reply is the same. "Officer, with all due respect, I prefer to keep my window where it is." A pretextual stop may look and feel like a normal stop, but here is the difference. If an officer asks you about weapons, drugs, and/or alcohol, the officer may be part of a task force. Another indicator is that the traffic task force will have 2 officers rather than 1. Whereas the normal traffic cop is primarily interested in writing tickets and concluding as soon as possible, the traffic task force will delay and look for ways to search your car. Pretextual stops are never about a traffic violation. The officers are not trying to write a ticket and let you go. You have to take extra care during a pretextual stop. 1. Hands on the steering wheel and do not move for any reason. 2. You will be asked to exit the car. Please do so without hesitation and close the door behind you. You must then say the following: "I do not consent to any searches, and I do not answer questions without a lawyer." And of course, you end with, "Am I free to leave?" If the officer does not answer, repeat the question as many times as needed until you are told you are being detained. At this point, the two officers will change roles, and the second officer will attempt to be nice and get you to be reasonable. Keep in mind that the officer is not your friend. You are not obligated to assist the officer in gathering evidence to take away your freedom. Invoke your rights again. I do not consent to any searches, and I do not answer questions without a lawyer. The second officer will then tell you he did not hear you invoking your rights with the other officer. Next will come the threats. They will tell you that you can go to jail for obstructing their investigation. They will strongly suggest you cooperate, and this can quickly go away so you can be on your way if you cooperate and give up your rights. Keep your mouth shut. Do not say a word while you are outside the car. Next, they will ask you to breathe into a breathalyzer. They are going to tell you all the bad things that could happen if you refuse. The word to focus on here is could. Answer the officer by saying no. Then ask, am I free to leave? To further scare you, they may place you in handcuffs and place you in the back of a patrol car. Stay calm. They have no probable cause at this point. The last dirty tactic is they will say they smell alcohol on you and attempt to question you again. Simply reply that you invoke your Fourth and Fifth Amendment rights. Am I free to go? Now let me explain the why. You lock your doors so the officer can't argue that he had implied permission to search your car. You can easily demonstrate that permission was not given because the doors were locked. If you leave your doors unlocked, the officer can claim that he did not remember you invoking your Fourth Amendment right. As for the window, if the officer claims to smell alcohol on your breath, that may be barely enough for reasonable suspicion. But if the claim is that he smells alcohol coming from that car, that could be enough probable cause to search your car and arrest you. By keeping your windows up, the smell test becomes more difficult. The breathalyzer and the field sobriety test. The reason you refuse both is that the breathalyzer is not reliable, and very few sober people can pass the sobriety test. Refuse both. Placing you in handcuffs, sitting you on the ground while the officer towers over you, and placing you in the patrol car are all designed to scare you into giving up your rights and allowing them to search your car. Last desperation move is excessive movement. This is why you do not move when you are pulled over. The officer will wait a few minutes before approaching the car. He is hoping you reach into the glove compartment, the center console, or the passenger floor. Excessive movement does not permit a full search of the car, but the officer can search the area where you were seated and where he observed you reaching. Once in the car, the officer can use the plain sight doctrine to visually search the rest of the car. Things to remember. All traffic stops have a time limit. The officer cannot detain you forever. Many judges here in Texas set the limit at 20 minutes. Some may say 30, but I have yet to see any go longer. So stay calm and be patient. Here are my don'ts. Never tell the officer you know your rights. Never say you know the law. Never say, do you know who I am? An unhinged officer will lose their mind and cause bodily injury, death, or at the very least arrest you knowing they have no case. Unhinged officers are not interested in justice. They want to punish you, take away your freedom, impound your car, and make it costly for you to regain your freedom. If your rights are violated, here is what you do. File a complaint with the department. I will warn you, nothing will come of the complaint. They will file it away in the folder labeled, I don't give a damn. Next, you submit a FOIA request for all body cam and car camera footage from all officers who were in attendance. Upload the videos to social media where civil rights attorneys and constitutional advocates can review them. If violations are found, seek an attorney to file a 42 U.S.C. 1983 lawsuit. Just remember, if an officer violates you, he must have the courage to fight back. If you are violated, the officer will continue to violate others. This is the time to be brave and stand up for your rights.